Buongiorno. My name is Tracy Easley, and this is my final presentation for our Introduction to Linguistics class. I learned the Italian language, and I don't want to say I learned the language, but I learned how to answer the questions that our instructor gave us, and I learned a lot of things about the language and about the history of the language and about the different dialects. And I worked with a lady named Gabriella. She's from the Italian Cultural Center, and she taught me a lot. So let's get started, and I will read the questions in English and then in Italian, and then I will read the answer in English, or I'll read the answer in English and then in Italian. All right, let's get started. Okay, question number 1 is, what is your name? In Italian, come si chiama? My name is Tracy Easley. In Italian, mi chiamo Tracy Easley. In Italian, or in English, the second question was, where are you from and where do you live now? In Italian, di dove e dove abita ora? In English, I'm originally from Texas and now I live in La Mesa, California. In Italian, io sono originaria del Texas. Io abito a La Mesa, California. The third question was, how many brothers and sisters do you have? In Italian, quanti fratelli e sorelle ha? I have 1 brother and 2 sisters. In Italian, io ho un fratello e due sorelle. The fourth question in English was, what is your major and what do you hope to do after you graduate? So in Italian, quale è il suo corso di laurea e che cosa si augura di fare dopo la laurea? My answer was, I'm majoring in education, and when I graduate, I hope to continue teaching kindergarten. Io mi sto laureando in educazione. Quando mi laureo, spero di continuare ad insegnare nella scuola materna. The fifth question was, what is your favorite thing about linguistics? In Italian, qual è la sua cosa preferita nel campo della linguistica? Cosa le piace di più della linguistica? My answer was, my favorite thing about linguistics is that I'm learning a lot that will help me in teaching my students about language. In Italian, la cosa che preferisco della linguistica è che sto imparando molto e questo mi aiuterà nell'insegnamento della lingua ai studente. So those were the questions that we had to answer and translate from English to Italian or whatever language that we learned. And I chose Italian because it was closest to, first of all, because it's a Romance language, and I had learned Spanish in the past, and I thought, well, you know, being a Romance language, hopefully that it would be a little bit easier for me to learn Italian. I did, however, learn a lot of things from my instructor, Gabriella. She told me that Italian, and I learned this as I wrote my report also, is that Italian is a very regional language, that there are dialects that are spoken in Italian or dialects that are spoken in Italy that are just that, they're spoken. Some of them are not even written down. And she said that, for instance, her mom is from Florentine and she is from Naples. So even on the same word that they sometimes have different pronunciations or accent in different places in the word. Another thing that I learned from Gabriella, I thought that this was very interesting. She said that with technology, that they in Italian have taken on words like clicar, which means to click, which is a variation of an English word. Another one she said was googleare, obviously, to Google, a word that has been developed because of technology. Another word that she told me that has come about in the Italian language that obviously is not native to the Italian language is twittare, to Twitter. So I thought that that was interesting how we all, English also takes on adaptations just from technology or different things in society that cause us to create different words. We even learned that in our assignments. Let's see, so other things that I learned about the Italian language that were similar actually to Spanish were that the nouns are in gender agreement and quantity agreement. So they're based on gender or quantity. I learned that the verbs, just like with Spanish, are not gender-based, but they are person-based. So in other words, whether you're speaking of I, you, he or she, they or we, that's how they conjugate verbs, which is very similar to the Spanish language. And the last thing I learned was about adjectives, that they are just like the noun, that they're gender and quantity based. So very interesting. I learned a lot in this class. I was so overwhelmed at times with all that I was learning. I just in this very end am able to sort it out and really apply it to my report that we had to write and to the translation as I was doing my field work and learning to translate all of these new words that I was learning to be able to translate it phonetically and make it all work together and figure out how all of the pieces that we're learning in this class came together. So I hope that all of you have had that same experience and that I felt like at times I was in a math class with all the ways that the different tree diagrams looked and phonetic translations and learning how we voice different sounds in language. It was complex, but this has been a great class. I've learned a lot, and I hope that you have too. And I can't wait to see all of you on your presentation. Alrighty, God bless. Thank you.